Today, we're diving into a really strange corner of the internet. It's a place that racks up millions and millions of views, mostly from the youngest people online. And it all starts with one deeply bizarre sentence.
Yup, you heard me right. You lick those rats. I mean, it's confusing, right? It's a little unsettling, and it just makes you stop and ask, what in the world is this from? And there's the kicker. This isn't some weird experimental art film. No, this is mass-produced content made for kids. It's from a video with a title that's basically nonsense, mashing up characters that have absolutely no business being in the same universe.
So that's the big question, isn't it? How did we get to "you lick those rats"? Because, believe it or not, this isn't random. It's actually engineered. And to understand how, we've got to become detectives and look at the evidence, piece by piece.
Okay, so our first clue is the sound itself. If you actually listen to these videos, you start to notice something. The dialogue, it isn't really dialogue. It's built from just a few super simple, powerful, and endlessly repeated phrases.
First up, you hear this all the time. Just simple, direct encouragement. It gives you this constant feeling of moving forward.
Then you've got this, pure positive reinforcement, a super clear signal that, hey, this is good.
And of course, you have the exact opposite. A simple, direct, don't do that. There's absolutely zero gray area.
Wow, amazing. Congratulations. Words like these are just sprinkled everywhere. They signal this high emotion, this big surprise, telling you that something important is happening, even if nothing really is. So when you lay it all out like this, the pattern just jumps right out at you. The entire script, if you can even call it that, is built on these four basic triggers: positive action, negative action, surprise, and sensory feelings. This isn't dialogue meant to tell a story. It's a bunch of audio cues that are literally engineered to grab and hold a toddler's attention.
All right, let's move on to our next piece of evidence. And trust me, it's a big one. The video's title. It's not just a title. It's what some people call a keyword salad. It's just a jumble of words designed not for a human to read, but for a machine to find. And just look at how this works. Every single one of these phrases is a popular, high-traffic search term. Scary Teacher 3D, that's a hit mobile game. Squid Game, a global sensation. Princess Dress, that's a search term that is basically timeless for kids. So the title isn't describing the video at all. It's casting this huge net to catch anyone searching for any of these popular things.
And that leads us perfectly into our third and final clue. The characters themselves. You know, just like the title, the cast of these videos isn't chosen because it makes for a good story. No, they are chosen based on their search volume.
So here's the thing that really cracks this case open. Putting these three characters together makes absolutely no sense for a story, but it makes perfect sense for an algorithm. You're literally combining the search traffic of a popular mobile game, a viral TV show, and the constant evergreen appeal of princesses. You're not watching a story. You're watching a bunch of SEO strategies collide on screen.
So we've looked at the language, we've looked at the title, and we've looked at the characters. And when you put it all together, the evidence is overwhelming. We're not dealing with a video that was made for people first. We're dealing with content that was made for the algorithm first. And this whole idea has a name: algorithm-first content. This is the key. The main audience, when this video is being created, wasn't a child. It was the YouTube recommendation algorithm. The goal wasn't to tell a great story, it was to check every single box that the algorithm loves. Trending keywords, high-emotion sounds, and bright, fast-moving pictures to keep watch time as high as possible. I mean, this chart lays out the difference perfectly. In the traditional creator-driven world, a person has an idea for an audience. But in the algorithm-driven world, the content is built backwards. You start with the keywords to please a machine. The goal completely shifts, from telling a good story to just getting the maximum number of views and, of course, ad money. And this right here, this is why it exists. The business model is incredibly powerful. You can use pretty low-effort production, simple animations, stock assets, and you can tap into this gigantic potential audience just by gaming the system. And that, in turn, can lead to some seriously high potential for ad revenue. It's basically a content factory.
So, okay, we've solved the mystery of the weird video, but why does any of this matter? Well, it matters because this type of content is popping up more and more all over the internet, and learning how to spot it is becoming a really crucial skill for, well, all of us. So think of this as your detection toolkit. If you see nonsensical titles packed with keywords, or bizarre character mashups that make no sense, or that repetitive, simple audio, and of course, if there's no real plot to speak of, you're not just watching a weird video. You're looking at algorithm-first content, and now you know exactly how to spot it.
And that really brings us to the final thought, the big question to chew on. As more and more content gets designed to please these recommendation engines, it's worth asking ourselves about everything we watch. Was this made for me to enjoy, to learn from, to connect with? Or was it made for a machine to discover and promote? The answer to that question really changes how you see the media you consume every single day.